In April 2003, Arsenal sat 8 points clear at the top of the Premier League, playing the most beautiful football England had ever seen. But weeks later, they threw it away in the most painful collapse imaginable, handing Manchester United their 8th title in 11 years. Just 12 months later, this broken team did something no club has done before or since. They went an entire Premier League season without losing a single game. 38 matches unbeaten. But how can a team come back from the devastation of bottling the league to go an entire season unbeaten? This is the story of how Arsene Wenger took a team crushed by failure and turned them into the Invincibles. To understand how Arsenal achieved the impossible, we have to go back to summer 2002. Arsenal had just won the double, going the entire season unbeaten away from home. They destroyed teams with something the media called total football. Arsene Wenger stood in front of reporters and said something that would haunt him. It's not impossible to go the season unbeaten. AC Milan once did it. I can't see why it's so shocking to say it. The British press laughed, called him arrogant, delusional, but Wenger wasn't joking. He genuinely believed this team, built around Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, Dennis Bergkamp, Sol Campbell, and Kolo Touré, could pull off the unthinkable. Arsenal started the 2002-2003 season on fire, 14 consecutive victories, a new English top-flight record. When they traveled to Leeds in late September, they put on a masterclass, 4-1. The opposition manager, Terry Venables, said, "Manchester United have been exceptional for 10 years, but I've not seen anything as good as that." Wenger called it edging nearer to perfection. Arsenal broke records every week, 30 consecutive games unbeaten, scored in 47 consecutive matches, breaking a record from the 1930s. The dream of an unbeaten season was becoming real. Until October 19th, 2002, Goodison Park, Everton versus Arsenal. Arsenal were leading 1-0. With 10 minutes left, Everton sent on a 16-year-old kid, Wayne Rooney, 5 days before his 17th birthday. 89th minute, Rooney controlled a long ball, turned, and from 30 yards, unleashed an unstoppable shot that cannoned and off the crossbar. 2-1 Everton. His first ever Premier League goal. Dream over. Arsenal's 30-game unbeaten run? Gone. Wenger's prediction? Now it looked foolish. But Arsenal didn't lose again until spring. Not in December when they beat United. Not at Christmas. Not in February when they led by 8 points. By March 2003, Arsenal looked unstoppable. Then the injuries started. Patrick Vieira, the captain, the warrior, pulled up injured. Sol Campbell picked up suspensions and injuries. The defense was in shambles. April 13th, Aston Villa away. Arsenal 2-0 up. Then they conceded 2-1. Another goal, 2-2. Manchester United were now joint top. 3 days later, the title decider, Arsenal versus United at Highbury. Ruud van Nistelrooy scored first. Arsenal fought back. Henry made it 2-1. Then Ryan Giggs equalized, 2-2. Sol Campbell got sent off. Down to 10 men. They held on for the draw. Ferguson said after, they'll surely go on to win the league, but he was wrong. April 26th, Bolton Wanderers, Arsenal 2-0 up. 3 players went off injured. The defense crumbled. Martin Keown scored an own goal, 2-2. The 8-point lead, gone. The title, out of their hands. May 4th, Leeds United at Highbury. Arsenal had to win. Henry scored. Bergkamp made it 2-2, but in the 88th minute, Mark Viduka scored. 3-2 Leeds. Manchester United were champions. Arsenal had thrown away an 8-point lead. Wenger tried to stay composed. We lost the league to a team who spends 50% more money every year, but inside, the team was devastated. That pain would fuel something historic. While Arsenal licked their wounds, Roman Abramovich bought Chelsea and spent £110 million in one summer. He even bid for Thierry Henry. Arsenal rejected it immediately. So, what did Arsenal do? They made one signing, Jens Lehmann, a German goalkeeper, £1.5 million. That was it. Wenger renewed Vieira's contract. Perez signed a new deal. Sol Campbell, Ashley Cole, Henry all stayed. Wenger didn't need new players. He needed his team to remember the pain, to use that heartbreak as fuel. The 2003-2004 season began not with bold predictions, but with quiet determination. They focused on one thing, never losing again. Simple, but impossible, or so everyone thought. Opening day, August 16, 2003, Arsenal versus Everton. In the 25th minute, Sol Campbell was sent off, down to 10 men for 65 minutes, against the team that ended their run last year. Arsenal won 2-1. That was the statement. This team would not break. But the real test came a month later, September 21st, Old Trafford, Manchester United versus Arsenal. The game was a war. In the 80th minute, Patrick Vieira was sent off for kicking out at Ruud van Nistelrooy. Arsenal down to 10 men again, holding on for a 0-0 draw. Then injury time. Penalty to United. Van Nistelrooy end the dream right now. He hit it hard. It smashed off the crossbar. The Arsenal bench erupted. Martin Keown jumped on Van Nistelrooy, screaming. Arsenal were later fined £175,000, the biggest club fine ever. But they didn't care. They'd survived. The message was clear. This team would not lose. Not to anyone, not ever. October, Arsenal 2-1 Chelsea. Vieira scored the winner. Abramovich's £110 million team beaten. November, Arsenal 2-1 Tottenham. Down 1-0, scored twice late. Vieira with the winner again. December, Bolton 1-1. The scene of their collapse. They went back and got a point. By February, Arsenal had won 9 straight. They were 5 points clear, then 9 points clear. March, Arsenal 1-1 United. 30 games unbeaten from the start. A new English record. Ferguson admitted they'll surely go on to win the league. But then came the crisis. April 2004, knocked out of the FA Cup by United, knocked out of the Champions League by Chelsea. 2 cups gone in 1 week. April 9th, Arsenal 4-2 Liverpool. Arsenal were 2-1 down at halftime. Everything seemed to be falling apart. They came out and destroyed Liverpool. Henry scored a hat-trick. The character, the refusal to break, it was all there. They would not lose. April 25th, 2004, White Hart Lane, Tottenham versus Arsenal. Chelsea lost to Newcastle earlier in the day. Arsenal only needed a draw at Tottenham Stadium at their biggest rival's ground. Vieira scored. Tottenham equalized. Arsenal went back ahead. Then a penalty in the last minute, 2-2. Arsenal were champions at White Hart Lane. But there were still 3 games to play. 3 games to complete the unbeaten season. May 15, 2004, Arsenal 2-1 Leicester City. The final game. Patrick Vieira scored. The captain, when the final whistle blew, Highbury erupted. 38 games, 26 wins, 12 draws, 0 defeats. The Invincibles, the first team since 1889 to go an entire English top-flight season unbeaten. The first and still only team to do it in a 38-game Premier League season. A golden trophy was commissioned just for them. So how did they do it? On paper, Arsenal played a 4-4-2, but when they attacked, it transformed. Bergkamp dropped deep. Pires drifted inside. Lundberg made late runs. Ashley Cole bombed forward. Suddenly, it was a 4-2-3-1 with runners everywhere. Defensively, they were rock solid. Only 26 goals conceded all season. Jens Lehmann played every single minute. Sol Campbell and Kolo Touré were immense. But what really separated this team was their mentality. 14 of their 26 wins came by a single goal. They grinded out results. They drew 12 times but never lost. 5 red cards, still didn't lose. It was the pain of 2002-2003 that made them invincible. They'd learned how to suffer, how to dig deep, how to never give up. Wenger had taken a team that collapsed under pressure and turned them into a team that thrived on it. The unbeaten run didn't end with the season. Arsenal started 2004-2005 by winning their first 9 games, 49 matches unbeaten in total. Until October 24th, 2004, Old Trafford, United 2-0 Arsenal. A controversial penalty. Wayne Rooney scored, the same Rooney who'd ended their first run full circle. 49 games, an English record that still stands. Since 2003-2004, no team has gone unbeaten in a Premier League season. Chelsea lost just 1 game in 2004-2005. Liverpool lost just 1 in 2019-2020. Liverpool came closest, going 27 games unbeaten before losing to Watford, but no one has gone 38 games without defeat. Modern football makes it almost impossible, and no team has had the perfect combination of talent, tactics, chemistry, and mentality that Arsenal had. This is the story of how Arsene Wenger took a team that threw away an 8-point lead and turned them into the only team in Premier League history to go an entire season unbeaten. It's the story of how failure failure forged perfection. How Wayne Rooney's goal ended a dream, only for that dream to come back stronger. How Van Nistelrooy's penalty miss kept it alive. How Vieira's leadership and Henry's genius combined with a team that refused to break. 49 games, 38 perfect matches, a golden trophy. The Invincibles succeeded because they failed first. The pain of 2002-2003 made them impossible to beat in 2003-2004, and that's why no one will ever do it again. What a story, what a team, what a season.